The Fox footy frenzy continues, and there is Paddy Ryder tossing the coin for the Saints. Today is game number 250. Of course, he made his debut at Essendon as an 18-year-old, 170 games at the Bombers, 73 games at Port Adelaide, and now at St Kilda, and doing a really nice job in the ruck alongside Rowan Marshall. They've kind of got that tandem pairing working well.
Yeah, it is good. The midfield overall, I think, is going really well at St Kilda. Their inside-outside ball's good, and their combination, contested versus uncontested, it's giving their forwards some really good look and some nice fluency in the way they're playing their footy. Absolutely. And they handle the pressure that the Gold Coast will bring.
They will. I reckon Little Hilly, Brad Hill, has changed this team. Every time he goes near the ball, the opposition get a little jittery. They tend to withdraw away from him because they just feel that we can't deal with his pace. He's really had a profound impact on this team, whether he has a lot of ball or not.
There is Matt Rowell. He's been appointed coach. He's on the coach's headsets. We think his contract extension is as a player.
He's getting ready to be captain coach of that team in about 4 years' time.
Well, the stage is set for a beauty. St Kilda and the Gold Coast Suns, the Saints, are fourth on the ladder at the moment. Are they the real deal for the finals? A big milestone for Paddy Ryder. Let's head to the action. Make sure you join us at halftime.
All in hand, and we're underway. Not a great bounce. Witts has just got to park himself underneath it. Greenwood went and found it. The big body, and the first clearance goes the way of the Suns. Rankin an early touch. Swinging it to Ellis. It was Clark who managed to get in the way. Tumbled it to the line. Interesting to see whether Hill wants to actually keep this in. I think he might have walked out with the footy, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be thrown in.
It's interesting at the start, you saw Hill and Ellis standing alongside one another. 5 premierships between them. You know, Hill with the triple at Hawthorn and Ellis 17 and 19. Jack Steele's the other guy. I guess he's the one that will have a massive say in this match. Miller, and speaking of Steele, to Jones. Votes in the coaches. 8 of the 9 weeks so far for Steele. Remarkable. Leads all comers there. Greenwood, good stuff. Got it out wide. There is Lukosius. JB talked about him. Swallow gets it back to Bowes. Bowes to Miller. Scrubby old kick. Didn't get it far. Clark belts the ball back. Bouncing ball. Collins has been good, hasn't he?
Been really good. To Powell.
Hold there, Jack. Hold there, Jack. Play on.
Internally, they love Collins. Don't you love a big-bodied key defender that can play on the big gorillas and get the job done? Harbrow, the veteran. Drilling ball down the line. Made it tough for Butterick. He somehow made it work, and Weller was taken high.
Hold that, please. Play on now.
Lockie Weller penetrating. Long ball. King at the back, just the one hand to it. To the front, Ainsworth. Shoveled a handball, looking for Powell in the pocket. The snap from Powell is unbelievably good. What a start that is. Young Will Powell. Got lots of players from the West involved in this game out of the Claremont Footy Club, the Tigers over there. Fresh-faced young man, and he'll have that on his highlight reel when it gets assembled at the end of what we hope for him is a very long and illustrious career. But that was fantastic.
We just see here is a nice deep inside 50, and then well roved by Ainsworth, and fantastic snap here from Powell. Just sort of body weight was going against it. He's falling away from it and still being able to curve it. It takes a lot of skill to be able to do it, and he's happy. And there's been a good start so far from the Suns. They've won the first couple of centre bounces and they've got the ball in their forward half, and just a repeat couple of forward entries. Good contest by King, and the ball in a nice spot. Dangerous for them, and they started well.
Yeah, and that's no fluke there. They really rate Powell's running. He's been a mix from midfield to halfback. They love him with the ball in his hands. He's a good disposal, good decision maker, and you watch him run up and down the wing. He's on Hill at the moment, just following him up and down.
So Miller got a forward. Hodgie Day's tackle was good. So they're up early, the Suns.
To the side, no prior. Thank you.
Bruce, Day crashed the first pack, and then he's come in with the good forward half tackle there.
Saints have been fast starters. We know fast starting's been a good formula so far this season. Lukosius' hands were good. Swallow put Powell under the pump. Back to Swallow. Just got the hand in there, the Saints. Couldn't quite get it through there, Sinclair. Ainsworth. Gee, that was good by Ainsworth. Kept his feet in the air, and they might be out the Saints. Long with a high ball out wide.
And Harbrow's going to have to defend. He slapped it to Ellis, who tried to drag a free, and I reckon in the end he did. It was Nick Hind who gave it away.
You get a feeling straight away for a sense of a game, and you can already see both teams, the physicality, the pressure, they're closing space quickly, they're up and about, and it's great to see because this intensity is already evident from both teams.
Long ball from Ellis. And King held out of it. Carlisle's hands good in the air. They normally are. This is a dangerous ball to a 1v2, broken up in the air by Powell, and now Hill's got to do some fast work on the outer side, and he did it really well and got it to Marshall.
Gee, good hands, Marshall, weren't they? I mean, I know he had a height advantage, but it was a strong mark against Ballard. He's good overhead, Ballard, we know that. So Marshall hugging that line, looking for maybe a memory mark. Couldn't quite that time. Hind, who kicked an important goal last week against the Swans when things were a bit tight. High ball to about 40 metres. First flyer. Didn't quite happen there for Kent. Back in the team tonight. And memory takes the mark. Hodgie spoke to him pre-match. What does he do here?
Sits it up. In comes Ellis. King got him pushed under the ball. Kent at the back. He on the left can kick the Saints first. So similar goals in a lot of ways. Kent's a bit more simple, but just getting the ball to that dangerous spot and then piling on in behind it. Talked to Luke Hodge before the game about the conditions. It doesn't look like it's heavy and dewy as we often see it up here. Absolutely perfect night for AFL footy, and we've got a good start.
A great intercept mark here by Carlisle, but as you can see, he turns around and he switches the ball straight away. That ball was right in front of me. There was no way Bradley Hill, the ball should have been switched. Powell was on probably about 3 or 4 metres away from, as we see the nice little snap goal here. But you can understand St Kilda's mindset. They take an intercept mark, they want to switch it to the outside. They want to get Bradley Hill involved in the game so he can use the silky smooth skills that he's got. So keep an eye on for that. For Gold Coast, they need to shut down that switch and they need to get St Kilda to go back skinny side and keep the ball out of Hill's possession.
Good stuff, Hodgie. So Whitson, Ryder, Pat in his 250th. What a career he's had. Swallow, quick kick forward. Just notice Kent's goal. Job mentioned goals inside 15 metres for the Saints this year. Another one just there, their first one tonight. They've been better at that than anyone. Phillips, he's the late inclusion tonight for Geary. And the ball up.
Well, just on that, Bruce, I think that's it. It shows and highlights the Kings and the advantage of having them because they're such focal targets. They take players with them, and therefore the ground level players are free.
Ellis high to a hot spot. Unable to hang on to it, King. Now Phillips, the late inclusion, can come away and just bash it to the members' side. Witt's going back. Jones has been good in recent weeks. Nice ball for Max King, who was unable to hang on. And that footy's over the line.
That was excellent there by Collins. Max King, yes, he's a great mark on the lead. But as you could see, King was going for extended hands. Collins has moved his body weight because he hasn't got the strongest core being such a young guy. It was really good body work there from Collins just to disturb him as he went for the mark.
Good stuff by Gresham. Gets it to Battle. Battle's kick looks like it'll go out. And Collins sort of shields it over, doesn't it? So that's an exciting duel, is it, between King and Collins. Got some good matchups all around the ground. Suns with a high number of high draft picks. You'd expect that. They've lost a lot of players, we know that, a lot, like the Giants have. 20 Suns on different lists in 2020. Some of them the stars of the game. Butler and Buttering. Butler off the ground, got to a dangerous spot. Collins makes an error. King gets down low. It's a long way to get down. Collins wraps him up with bows.
On the ball. Yeah. Max, back to the 9. Back to the 9.
Got through his legs. His heart would have been pumping Collins just for a moment. Get it into the hands of Ballard. It's got to work. Broken out of Powell's hands. Billings. Suddenly soccering seems to be the right way to go. Handball over the top. It's Gresham strong enough through the body to Jones outside of the boot. This time, no mistake for Collins. Able to find Harbrow, and that's a dangerous ball, but it can work here for Bowes. Took Miller, linking handball to Swallow. Over the top, Anderson back to Miller, inside 50, drilling ball, and a free kick's been given away.
Howard. Go through, push. Time back on.
So Howard, he started so well as a Saint, hasn't he? Team he played for prior to that going all right themselves. Been on top of the table for the whole of the season.
Thanks, Nick.
Not easy to do. Here's Carlisle. Had probably an indiscretion last week that he's not proud of. Kick down the line. He's a fine defender, isn't he? Then Witz's little kick just dribbled forward. Holman attacked it hard.
Oh, thank you, advantage.
So Billings gets the advantage, goes to Carlisle, goes to Gresham.
Gresham with a bounce. So much excitement when he's got his hands on the Sharon. Goes to Phillips. Wants to draw Wilkie with a handball. It gets to him out of side, and they go back to Phillips like his brother. So much ability to cover the ground. St Kilda. Nicely smothered ball inside 50, but they'll get a stoppage deep.
Yeah, guys, this is just something for all young kids. As whenever they're close to goal, as you see, Max King then picks the ball up. He goes to turn back towards goal because he wants to score it. For all young kids out there, if you're picking the ball up off the ground, you've got to look for a teammate. Give the hands to someone who's in your vision. Let them have an opportunity to kick a goal.
Good stuff, Luke. So Day out position there in the ruck. So Ellis is high ball. Doesn't get it far. It's a young fella, sharp. We just had a look at him. Day's been okay early. Swallow's been good. A lot of handballs for him early, but he's been clearing packs. Holman, that's good stuff. He's a bouncy player, isn't he? Rankin, really looking forward to calling him for the first time tonight, JB, but he coughs that one up to Carlisle.
Too far from home, Macca, to give us his real sizzle. We'll see some tonight, we hope. Hill, as he's done his whole career, able to find a long target by foot. This is Battle. To the feet of Membry. Controlled it pretty well. Back to Battle. That's not as good. Lukosius, dangerous by foot. Bites that kick off. Holman taken in a strong tackle. Sinclair brought it away. Caulfield's having a nice time of it. Now then, Gresham has a bounce from long range. He has a look. Riders parked back there in Collins. This is why they like him. He's got a strong body and he's positioned himself very well.
Paddy, back to the 9, please.
Already, you can, and Luke touched on it before, it's just the way in which St Kilda like to change the angles out of their half-back line to try and get the ball in the opposite side in their forward entries. But it's been noticeable from both teams is just the intensity to create spoils and turnovers and tackles, and it's been played with a lot of ferocity so far.
So Marshall got it forward. Clever by Hine. Butler did so well. And Gresham gets the goal. The Saints are in front. So they've pegged them back quickly, haven't they? Gresham with a couple of goals last week. He's been hitting the scoreboard in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks. He's playing a lot in the mids, we know, but goal kicker, dangerous player, creative, quick, courageous. It's a lovely little mix, isn't it?
We see here a good contest with the talls, and then, as all good groundmen are, just centering the ball forward 15, and Hodgie, just on the Saints, they're the #1 scoring team from 15 metres out in terms of accuracy. Was that a Alistair Clarkson sort of philosophy where to getting the ball right in that spot to kick goals for as Ratton's brought it in himself?
Yeah, I guess with that, the Hawks did have a focus. I think a lot of teams these days are doing the same thing. At least if you take a mark at the top of the goal square, when you've got some big key forwards as St Kilda do, but if you don't get that mark, you've got some small little crumbers who get a second chance to get a stoppage if they can't get the goal.
Jones has it held in. Got a bit of a pile on. Umpire's letting it go a long, long time.
On the ball.
Now it's a holding the ball decision, going the Gold Coast way. Just back to that goal, Job. How good's Dan Butler been?
Yeah.
Almost allowed to walk out of Richmond.
Yep.
I reckon there'll be some list managers around the place that'll be cursing the fact that they didn't end up at his club. Long ball forward. Here comes King with a climb. Day was there as well. Marshall's hand's pretty good, Phillips. Got it back to Marshall. Now, Sinclair with a little bit of time. Billings. The play you want, ball in hand. That's not his absolute best. It got to the back of all of that. Jones and Butterick. Butterick might have been held high. Jones has got the footy. And a couple land on top of him. The umpire has shown a willingness to play holding the ball, but he doesn't on this occasion.
Thank you, my ball.
Just have a look here, Isaac Rankin, just getting some attention, but looks okay.
So Greenwood won that stoppage. Such a key to him. Good split by Ainsworth. Got it to the young fella and Sharp. So that long ball forward. Oh, King had a really good look at that against Howard. He'll be disappointed with that one. Good stuff by Wilkie. Hill started brightly. He's had an up and down season, hasn't he? He is so good, as you said earlier, JB, finding targets down the ground. Long, back to Hill. Hill again with a chance to sort of size it up. High ball, Ryder and King, the veteran and the youngster together. And here's Budrick getting it out of the bad spot.
We can sit it to Ainsworth. The ball just wouldn't come to him. And then he's held.
Holding the man.
Patton without the footy, so he'll receive a free kick on the wing. Short ball to Billings. Nicely sneaking down Carlisle. Inboard Sinclair. Starting to gain a bit of control here, the Saints. Sinclair a high one. King one out. Got good hands to it again. Harbrow able to get it to Powell. Powell's measuring ball's got to work, and it does to the first gamer.
Good mark by Sharp. Harbrow was interesting there. He's a natural left foot. He was going to go there, and he switched it back. He went the right way. And here he goes again. So Sharp's had a good little start for him. Mark cut off by Payton. He's an unsung hero, Payton, isn't he? Hasn't missed a game all year. And when I've watched him and called him, he's been very good. Here's Carlisle. So they are in a little bit of ball control here at the moment. King and Witts. Ryder doing the sharking. Hine was good. Billings a good spot for him. A good spot for him. And gets it home. Or was it touched?
I believe it's hit the post. Can we please check to see if it wasn't a goal?
Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is one behind, it hit the post. Can we please ensure the ball did hit the post?
Review underway.
It is hard to tell.
It's the soft call that interests me too, Macca, because now that he said he thinks it's hit the post, do we have to conclusively prove that it didn't?
And there's no deviation, is there, really? I mean, tricky. Yeah, I get what you mean, JB. It's sort of...
Review
the on-field call
Looking
really
at his angles, there is no daylight between the ball and the post as it goes through, and a clear spike on edge. Decision on the scoreboard.
So let's see what the result is. So the Drinkwire score review is going to come up with a behind. So bad luck for Billings and the Saints. We reset again with Lukosius.
You're not walking,
Thank you, Hall.
that's for sure.
No.
Joe,
No.
you are making the umpire give you out if it's that small an edge.
Hold there, please.
Ellis.
Asking for drinks from the locker rooms, I think, JB. You're that confident?
Ellis at half back. Well, from where Hodgie played his cricket, Colac, ball could have gone to gully and he didn't use to walk.
Mate, Collins is a very honest bloke. He was adamant that it hit the post, so I was backing him the whole way.
And nothing true about the gully, the shots at gully, just off the deck, Hodgie.
Job, you never walk, you know. Even if the middle stump's out of the ground, you wait for the umpire to give you out.
Anderson slices through, gave it to Ellis. To the wing. So Gold Coast now, just a little response needed, Rankin. You're not going to push Carlisle off too often. And that's holding the ball.
Back there, Isaac.
Just can't get forward 50s at the moment, can they, the Suns? Got a wall going pretty successfully here, the Saints. Wilkie hasn't missed a game since his debut last year. A boy from Walkerville in South Australia.
Holding. St Kilda. 2 hands around.
He played well against Port Adelaide Riders, didn't he?
He's been good so far as well, and Marshall, they're getting involved around the ground, not just in the tap work.
So he just measures that kick rider, doesn't he? Wants the king fly. He got it, didn't quite get the mark. Under pressure, Budrick did okay. Still haven't called his name a lot tonight. That's a good one to Butler, who doesn't do this all that often. Set shots, kicks a lot of goals, and as JB mentioned, what a pickup he has been. He was so good in the 2017 Premiership year, wasn't he? And then just lost his spot and couldn't really get it back last year when they did it again, the Tigers. It's good stuff by Steele.
Yeah.
When you look at the replay, he went there. So Butler, 17 goals for the season. And he is better snapping, isn't he?
Just underlines one man's trash is another man's treasure. Richmond had an abundance of these kinds of players, and St Kilda identified it and targeted it, and he's just added an enormous amount to this St Kilda list.
High and wide, Carlisle almost. Payton, well done, Swallow, came bursting through. Now Rankin, what's he got? Spots something he likes inside forward 50. It's Tuke Miller, can get and go. That's a wonderful running goal. Set up by David Swallow. But once Rankin gets goal side, we're going to see a lot of that sizzle in the next 10 years or so. As Bruce said right off the top, Tuke Miller's having a very, very good season and a very good career.
Which is a good kick, JB, wasn't it? I mean, that was, well, our dear friend out west.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that was a centimetre perfect.
You see here, beautiful intercept by David Swallow, and you've seen a few times it hasn't come off until now, but the Gold Coast have got right up the ground, and then they've used their speed back, coming and a beautifully weighted kick from Rakeen, just changed the angles, put it out in front of Miller, didn't have to do anything except catch it and finish it. But Suns have been able to get up the ground a little bit and still have the anchor of King down deep, but the faster, smaller players have been able to get goal side of this St Kilda's defenders, and we saw it be effective then.
Swallow's been good in this opening term. That ball allowed to go, so umpire happy with it. Weller, there he is again, banging the ball forward. Swallow just couldn't quite hang on to it. King, he made a great attempt. Day, Sexton, good smother. Miller looking for a second. 2 goals this season, 1 against Adelaide, 1 tonight. Ball still in. Day gets it back to Lemons. Heard the call. Holman, Greenwood can kick a goal, and he doesn't. He was in the right spot, wasn't it? But already, Joe, Greenwood and Swallow, those big-bodied midfielders, doing some good work.
It's not a great entry. Now they're going to have to work very hard, and I'm not sure that's correct disposal. Doesn't matter because they get away with it. Caulfield. Long ball, good hands from memory. That's a mark. Bowles thought it maybe wasn't, but it was, according to the person that matters, and that's the field umpire. What's that? Did it stay in his hand just a little longer than it should have? Doesn't matter.
A scoop there.
Jack, go with him, Jack, go with him!
Membry, long ball. The Kings have been so close, haven't they? Here's Butler out the back. They're not going to go there. Instead, they go to Steele, and the Saints get another one. They look so dangerous when the ball's allowed to get behind. They could have raffled that players running into an open goal. Another player, we keep saying it, having a very good season, Jack Steele. 88th game tonight, and he is starting to really show what he can do. And Macca, interesting, the fan zone here when it comes back. I want you to have a look at who's in the middle.
We just see here, it's the predictability of these forward 50 entries for St Kilda, and King hasn't had a lot of touches to the ball, but he's the target, and the crumbing players know where the ball's going and they can target it. You see any familiar faces in there, JB?
Have a look at him.
A bouncing ball, JB, Stevie Mill.
My goodness.
Hey, look at him.
The tip
right in the middle there. How good is that? Hey, wouldn't he love these over the back, Joe?
Well, they know who he's going to, because King is such a dominant target, and you can just get to ground level. The ball's not being intercept marked, and you can see these ground level players are just hitting the scoreboard because of the predictability of the forward 50 entries.
Which did well. 31 of their goals this year from within 15 metres. Now, North Melbourne have got 5 so far this year. 31. Next best, Richmond, 22. So, Stewie Dew talked to us about it, didn't he? Weller to swallow all 3 goals tonight in the same fashion.
Holding, St Kilda. Go through.
Yeah, Payton against Greenwood. So, JB, I'm not going to bang on forever, but 31 goals won they've kicked this year from 15 metres or closer.
As Payton long and wide. Harbrow at the back. Payton and Greenwood. Well done. Dougal Howard came out and attacked the footy with great vigour. Not a great squaring ball, but it's going to be okay for Caulfield. That's a nicely delivered ball wide for Kent. Noah Anderson's got to be careful on the mark. Siren sounds. Good first quarter of football on the Gold Coast, and it's the Saints. First break, they lead it by 7 points.
Metres continue to be racked up. All 3 of them tonight. Billings a lot of the ball. Carlisle 5 marks, 2 intercepts. Swallow and Greenwood have been very good. And let's catch up with Macca's runner cam, and it's Tony Brown, the runner for the Saints.
Come on, let's clear this one. Come, boys. Next 2, come. Yeah. Are you okay? Righto. And the next 2 come. Good Hilly, good Pens. Good Steely. Take the bounce. Yeah, take the centre bounce and then come straight away. Okay, this is another contest. Good start. Good Dean. Good Skunk, fantastic, Hindy. Go again. Who are you waiting on, Maxie? Who? Skunk! 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 JB, good. Just take the easy kick when it's on. Good boy, good Gresh.
So Job and JB, a combination of instruction and reinforcement there, isn't there?
Who's the skunk? I want to know. We'll get to the bottom of that by the end of the game. Hodgie, what do you got?
I'll let you know, mate. It's Skunk Memory, so that's his nickname.
Ah, very good.
But Gold Coast are pretty happy with their contested stuff around the ball. They won the clearances. There's a couple bits of play that will be frustrating to Stewie Dew. The long down the line play. As a defender, you've got to keep the ball in front of you. You can't let the ball slip out the back when you've got a Billings, Gresham, Butler, those kind of guys. Keep the ball in front of you just so they can't get those easy goals from the 15 metres out, as we've been talking about.
Thanks, Hodge. You saw the clearances there, very much in favour of the Suns, and Greenwood and Swallow have been a big part of that, haven't they? The Twins, well, they've had some flies, Job, haven't they? They just haven't one hasn't quite stuck yet.
Not yet, but I'm really liking the predictability of the forward entries, especially for St Kilda, and it's emphasised in how they're getting these goals in the inside 50s, and it's just creating contests. They create a target, and it's that predictability for these smaller players to go to that area because they know, and I guess it emphasises how well coached they are, because everyone's recognising it. It's been told by the coaching staff, and then they're implementing it from a playing group.
So playing against each other for the first time. Both 20 years of age, 202 centimetres, one taken at number 4 in the draft and one taken at number 6. Max missed a lot of footy last year, all of it. And Ben got a head start, but they're together tonight. Let's see if the Suns can keep up here.
Zach, David, just wait for the bounce. Thanks.
So Ryder went early and went really well to Jones, who went forward. Greenwood again. That one not quite so effective. Hines been chirpy, hasn't he? He's on the wrong side for him. He gets a good ball forward. There's that fly we've been talking about, and that predictability that Job said. They know how to read it off the pack. Saints get deep again. Butler caresses it. Decent kick. Marshall couldn't quite make it stick. Collins, Greenwood, Ballard. Not normally a great kick, Ballard. He goes safety first down the line. And gee, good hands by the little fella Ainsworth.
Mark, goal coach.
Wonderful mark. Important mark too. Given the outnumber around him. Measures it down the line. And Day had an arm held. Good to see Sam Day back playing really good footy. So many issues over the trip for him. This is where the Suns have had some issues tonight. This next kick just pounds a long one in. Free kick picked out. It's going to go the Gold Coast way.
Jared Witts.
To Jared Witts.
Pat, Pete, can you go through, mate? Mark's here. Handball it. Pass it off.
Getting some helpful advice from over the fence.
Always was appreciated when the people behind the fence just gave you a little bit of education on the game.
Hand it off. Let's see what he's got, Witts. Maybe you should have listened.
Live and learn, eh? So a good chance missed. Wilkie. How aggressive will they be here, the Saints? Not this one. Bit touchy. Sinclair protected the ball well. Budrick with a chance against Hill. Took him up the front legally. Greenwood, strong hips. Couldn't get him downhill. Back to Weller. Dicky little kick to the pocket. Lemons couldn't quite get around now. Ellis. Greenwood. Having a big night, Greenwood. Ellis, they were two of the recruits we talked about pre-match, weren't they? High ball, Day's at the back. King had a little bit of it. Day getting down low, hands were good. Weller gets it to Lemons. Lemons spins in the tackle, gets it back to Rankin. Rankin had to backtrack. Butler did well, just got a finger in there. Sinclair gets it out.
And gets it out well. Membry. High and long, and that's very nicely controlled. Steele. Inside 50 he goes. Through a couple of Gold Coast hands. Kent going to make it another one, Bruce. From point blank range. St Kilda kicked their fourth. So 4 goals essentially from the goal square.
Yep.
And the defensive coach for the Suns will not be happy. They have not learnt.
JB, I wish we didn't know about this. It's driving me mad.
It's become a focus.
A phobia.
How can it not be?
Well, true. They just got through them too easily there, didn't they? That was a worry, that one. Just got through them too easily.
Just see here, fantastic mark from Steele, and then his ability to quickly play on him rolled. And just again, even though King didn't impact it there, it was just the Crummers were at the right spot, and Marshall just over the top from the goal square. And it's definitely a plan, a preordained plan that this is how they want to do it. This is what they're going to do. This predictability means that they're going to have Crummers going, because the Crummers know where the forward entries are going into.
Kick for the last 5. So Lukosius, Ballard and Collins just made a mess of it, didn't they? No one was quite sure who to go for. So Clark, good kick to Kent. Kicked a goal in the opening term. High ball, he's a goal a game at Kent. King's good fly. Membry's hands were good. Steele runs into Ellis. Did okay, Steele back to Greenwood. Good stuff, Gresham. Gets to King. That's high.
St Kilda. Slipped. Stay 30, Maxi.
So Max King, one of the twins that we've talked a lot about. bit stiff Ballard, wasn't he? Because he got himself into the tackling position and the Giant slipped down, but he didn't do it. Staging for a free. He's nursed it and nursed it home, and the Saints kick away. She's having a good year. So a couple of goals in the first 2 rounds, 2-2. A couple then in the middle, and another couple, 3 last week, and hits the board tonight. So he's up to 15 for the season. So Membry's sort of the second, third fiddle, which I think is the right place for him, and I mean that with all due respect. He's a terrific footballer, but to have a Butler and a King as focuses again, that's good for him and good for the team. They look potent, Joe, don't they?
Normally a King and a Butler is the way it goes, Bruce.
You'd know, Joe.
And hitting the scoreboard for the first time, but these Crummers, they're smart and they know where the ball's going, and it's going to him, and they're getting to the bottom underneath him, and that's why this St Kilda side looks so dangerous every time the ball goes into the forward 50, because these ground level players are going to where the ball is, and they know that's where it's going to be, either in King taking a mark or it's going to come to ground.
Starting to get a bit concerning here for Gold Coast. 5 of the last 6 have gone the Saints' way. Hill just couldn't get a handle. Thumped the handball to Gresham, who gets taken in the Weller tackle. Lukosius spun around a couple of times. Sharp forward. Ainsworth couldn't hang on. Sexton been quiet. Goes off the ground. And the ball goes out of play. We'd like to see him starting to roll. Can get very dangerous. Alex Sexton. Just the 3 possessions for him on the night so far, but they've got it at the right end of the ground. Miller, left foot ball, wobbling through. Took Miller, wonderful. So second on the night, and that's a goal out of nowhere. Forward stoppage, good work. And very much needed from a Gold Coast Suns point of view.
One of the things, Joe, that we talked to the Suns about this week was when a team gets a run on against you, how are you handling it? And they feel they're in a better spot this year to sort of stop that momentum now. Maybe that's a good sign of it right here and now. Yeah,
I think so, Bruce. And you see the senior players for the Gold Coast have brought in Greenwood, Swallow, Alice, Weller, and now Miller as well. They're the guys that are going to turn the momentum in this game, and it's going to be through their contested ball work, and then they'll drag the younger guys with them.
So equals his career high tonight, Miller. Done it a couple of times before. Gee, how good was that by Miller? As Anderson comes through, long ball forward, not a good kick. And Caulfield takes a mark. I think I called on a number of occasions Patton Payton in the opening term, so I'll get that right in this quarter. Sinclair just tapped back Billings, who was prolific in the opening term, to Sinclair, to Battle. Here's Butler up the ground, does it well. He's got a good head on his shoulders, that Butler. The kick by Battle, and cut off Ballard. Brave mark.
I think I might have gone with the Payton too, Bruce. I think it's the old general who used to play for the Hawks back in the 80s. You get it stuck in here, that's a nice mark. And good focus on the footy. Butterick, one of those rising star nominees, 4 of them already for the Suns this year. So much to look forward to for this franchise for a long period to come. King, one of them. Halves a contest with Carlisle, that's not easy to do. Nice little touch from Rankin now through to Weller. Weller has a long range go. It's not going to get there. Long, able to get back and assess what's ahead of him. And that's a nice ball for Sinclair.
Third game back for Sinclair. He's been pretty good. He's had 15 in both the last couple of rounds. times that was so slow to Phillips. Bowes cut it off, but did Will Phillips back to Sinclair. Cutting across was Anderson, that first-year player, of course. Very much linked with Rao Anderson, isn't he? Great mates. 1 and 2 in the draft. And we heard the big news for Rao tonight in the club that extended his contract by another couple of years. We were told during the week that the vast majority of the Suns have signed, sealed and delivered.
Yep.
And that's given them some stability, JB, to go forward.
That's great news for them. Long from Weller.
Down
free kick. Downfield. So this will give Ben King a look.
Let's leave it. There's no need. Jared, leave it now. Thank you.
And it was the 250 gamer. Not a heap in it.
No, I was watching that there, JB. It wasn't a heap in it, but when you've got 120 kilos hitting someone at about 80, he's going to hit the deck. And Razor Ray, he was keeping his eyes nice and closely on it, and you could see he was eager to pay that.
Benny King to make it 2 in a row. He normally does this pretty well. That's a lovely set shot. So 1 apiece to the King boys. And more importantly, from the Suns' point of view, that's their 2nd in a row. Got this game back to something that they'll be happier with after it looked like the Saints were getting a hold of them.
They were racehorses, those Kings. They are stride for stride. You mentioned earlier, JB. They're almost a mirror reflection in their numbers this year, aren't they?
Yep.
As we see there, a nice little bump from Paddy, just a tad late. We got the downfield for King to kick another goal. But one thing that's been so impressive with Gold Coast is their impact around the ball. Yes, St Kilda have been able to move the ball freely around the ground at times, but it's been their clearances, their stoppage work. They're up 14-6. It's just getting the ball into their half, and they've been able to set up behind the last few minutes nicely.
And in clearances for the season, Hodges, we see the Telstra tracker and Hugh Greenwood and just what he's doing tonight, having a massive influence on the game. Saints have just shaded the Suns in terms of numbers and clearances so far this season. So the advantage given after the Gresham free kick. Oh, that is such a good mark. Now, Membri's tried to really shove Collins forward. He's a good young unit, Collins. When I say young, he's no baby. He's been around for a bit at the Dockers. Day looked switched on early, Day, didn't he? We saw a couple of good contests. I think Joe might have mentioned that. Harbrow's kicked down the line. This has been an impressive 4 or 5 minutes. Carlisle, Howard, Clark, Billings arches the back and goes inside forward 50.
Kicks it straight back to that man. Sam Collins. How amazingly important is it, Job, when you can pencil that key defender in, week out?
Consistency and predictability in your back 6.
Sexton, good ball. Holman, here he is, Rankin on the left. King in the hole. What can he do at ground level, the big man? Picks it up, gets around a couple. No, he doesn't. It was Patton in the end.
Just here. Back here, please.
Gee, that's it, Hodgie. That is just what Hodgie was talking about earlier with the other King. This young fella should have gone with a handball, but he went back goal side, didn't he, Hodgie?
It must have happened a lot in the backyard as they were growing up, mate. As soon as they pick it up near the goals, they turn straight to kick it.
Ainsworth's little kick forward to Patton. Patton with a high ball. They really should have goaled there. Good mark, Lukosius.
Push out on the side. Push out.
He's a star, this guy. He really is. I mean, I think he might have got mixed up in a few things in the last couple of years. He's missed one game. He's been asked to do big jobs. Lemons, rolling it home. You beauty. The father, from last Friday. Gee, that was a good goal.
Brilliant.
I'm liking JB. I'm liking what we've seen here. This is what they talked about. We're in a better position to stop that, that onslaught than we used to be.
What are we seeing here, Macca? Is this the Magic Millions with the Suns?
You got it, JB. You got it. There's a lot of prancing in the mounting yard here, I can tell you. A lot of these blokes you'd back if you looked at them.
We just see here, inside 50, great contest, and then fantastic spot as a crummer. dribble it around it. Beautifully executed, just rolling along on the outside of the foot. And Macca talked about the ability for the Suns to withstand even when things weren't going with them and change the momentum. Well, they're up +8 in contested possessions. They're +7 inside 50s. They're actually playing well, and now they're getting the reward on the scoreboard, and they've really served it back up to St Kilda.
Great moment for Sean Lemons. Big week for he and his young family. And a terrific goal, Ryder high. Jones. The big bodies for the Saints getting to work in Steele, and then Hill. Run down Gresham. Hasn't Greenwood been good? Linking up Lukosius, so dangerous, ball in hand. Drills it inside 50. Absolute 3-iron arrow into the hands of Ben King.
We just see here, this is where the goal is created. Isaac Rankin's ability to push up, put that tackle on, create the turnover, and then a wonderful weighted kick by Lukosius, but it's the defensive action from the forward then that creates the opportunity.
King for his second in this term. It's got to work back from the left. It won't.
Exciting stuff, isn't it? So they get back the lead. They led, of course, with the opening goal of the match from Powell. So here's Wilkie. High ball. Marshall, good target, good mark. Last time we called them, he was on a Thursday night against the Blues, and he dominated Marshall that night. Said about you and I, Joe, but there's been a lot of games since then, obviously. So that high ball, this is where they've been good, the Saints, and that's a terrific mark by King. So they're doing it all over the ground, the Kings now. They had a lot of flies in the first quarter, but they're catching a fair bit in this term. High one again. Big fly came from Billings, and also Battle in the front. Billings clever to Jones. Jones, good kick. Phillips has to take them on. May have been a bit lucky. Greenwood in there. Well done, Hine. Gets it forward. Still. Strong body. Ball not quite out. Collins. Powell has some time to think about it. Mungles it, but mungles it beautifully to Ainsworth.
Not a great kick from Ainsworth. Made Swallow work really hard. Now they're in a bit of strife. Hill breaks it up. Squaring ball. Phillips all on his own. The turnover could cost him, although Phillips's ball wasn't great. Membry retreating. Gets around Bowes. High inside 50 to a 1v2. Numbers back here now for the Suns. Collins did well. Butterick, handball over the top. Ellis, Lemons, and they're out.
Out they are, and now Bowes with a check side. He had to buy some time there, didn't he? He had a high ball, get as much time as he could, fly it on the ball, knowing that the Saints had the numbers. Carlisle got it from Wilkie, got it back from Patton, got it to Clark. Saints can wax it up the line to Long, and there's a little bit of a fumble. In fact, not a little bit of fumble, a big one. Can Sexton make them pay for it? High ball, Ainsworth waits. Big fist came in from Caulfield. Bouncing, Patton. Oh, Rankin, so quick. Put that in your little highlights, JB. I liked it.
Quick release. So it's been a good response from the Gold Coast after they were really challenged by the Saints. Lukosius has been terrific. Absorbed the tackle. Hunter Clark. Battle. And the boundary.
There's nothing like scoreboard pressure, and you can see that the intensity around the game, and inside 50 tackles, inside 50s. The Gold Coast Suns have hit the scoreboard. They've got the ball in their forward half now, and they're putting St Kilda under pressure, not just with their tackles and chasing, but also on the scoreboard.
And Hodgie, that's what you hear with Rankin so often, is the defensive heat he puts on is elite, and we just saw an example of it there. So it's not just the tricks, ball in hand.
I think that's the expectations of a forward these days. Yes, they can do a lot of tricks with the ball in hand, and they practice all that stuff, but what the teammates love them for is the chase, the pressure, the turnover they can bring just to keep that ball in their forward 50.
Isaac Rankin, the champ Luke Hodges talking about us. We've got a ball up. Greenwood's been superb. High ball forward. Here is Rankin. Hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Lemons front and centre. Off hands out of play.
And clearance is getting busy. Clearance is 15 to 8, and Hugh Greenwood's been a big part of that. He's had 5 himself. just that physicality, the big body around the ground is really helping this Gold Coast Suns midfield.
So Day and Marshall. Marshall works to the front, got a good little tap. Sinclair under pressure. Ainsworth gets a little bit on it. Dangerous spot. Oh, yes, the big king, In the end, Job, it was the perfectly weighted kick from Ainsworth, wasn't it? To a very good spot. And Ben King, they are so impressive, these two young men, the twins that we've talked about. So this to give the Suns a kick-and-a-half lead. Third shot on goal for the quarter. Gets home his second. They're on a roll. Well, it's exciting, isn't it? We know the Saints play a really entertaining brand of football. And I reckon 10 minutes ago, probably we were thinking, JB, well, we're going to see some good footy from the Saints. We're going to enjoy it. That's probably about the best we were thinking right there. Right now, I'm thinking something different.
Great sign for the Suns.
It's another clearance here from Gold Coast to add to the tally there in front. But just here, King's positioning and his nice strong mark pushes away off Carlisle. But that's where sometimes when you look back and you think, as a defender, you got the extra, but sometimes it's confusing. Carlisle, there's no way Carlisle would let him get a run and jump with that if there was no defender sitting in front. He was worried about, if I get to block him, I'm going to get a free kick against me. So, yes, it looks pretty with an extra number there, but sometimes as a defender, it's more confusing because you just can't battle as hard as what you normally can in case the umpire gives a free kick away.
Last 6 scoring shots, Gold Coast, 4 of them goals. It's been a wonderful response. Gresham, Weller, another clearance out of the middle here for Gold Coast. Good ball for Rankin. Had a couple coming at him. Ainsworth, a squaring one, and King looking good again. Nice late fish from Howard. Carlisle arrives, thumps the long one to Butterick, who was happy to see it over.
Been impressed with the Suns midfield and their ability to just halve contests, create turnovers in those passages of play. They're leading the contested possessions, as we can see there. Toot Miller, Hugh Greenwood and Weller has all been really busy around that midfield.
Yeah, Weller 3 clearances to go with Greenwood's handful. Swallows high ball, good mark Hine. He's off. He'll be hard to catch. High ball, gets it to about 25 metres. Just not cooled at the back there. And now Kent's little give. Had it for a fair while, King.
Ball. Gold Coast. Thanks where you are.
So, Collins has played a terrific term, hasn't he?
Yeah.
They'll go here. Through Anderson. Got beyond Day. He might get a free for a push. Just going to thump along 1.5 forward. Ainsworth. Holman. Sexton. Just dragged it to the left and a behind.
They're winning it around the battles, aren't they? They're winning it in close now, and they're able to spread it wide quickly. They look very dangerous. Ainsworth's bubbly, isn't he? I know he's a high draft pick, but he's been good. Not every one of his disposals has been clean, but he's been very good. He's been busy. So Clark. Good questions asked here by of the Saints. Marshall protected against Bowes.
Keep coming. 2 more metres.
Gee, Bowes, not sure if he was... He got close to being pulled back. Billings, Hine, tries a spiral. Going to be bouncing and bouncing. Hill's half a chance here. Collins got it to Sharp. Sharp to Collins. Does he get much on it? The bounce of the ball, righted it well. Butler, what does he do? He kicks a goal. That's what he does. Clever. Lovely touch. Good thinking, execution. JB's better at those than those set shots 20 metres out.
Isn't it staggering that someone can be so assured in general play, and then as soon as he's got to think his way through a set shot, he has all sorts of problems.
It's a beautiful goal.
We just see here, it's Brad Hill's running capacity, his ability to push hard forward, creates the opportunity there, and just a hand in there that means there's a rush kick that St Kilda players can come down, and Butler is the beneficiary of it, and just laconically on the left with a wonderful finish there. But Brad Hill's ability to get up and back down the ground, gets to that deep inside field 50 entry, just creates a contest, which creates a rush kick for the Suns defender. Butler gets another shot on goal, and what about that finish?
Stevie Milne in the middle of the fan zone, enjoying himself. What a superstar he was. One of the all-time great small forwards and excitement machines. Good game of footy. Miller went without it. Gresham didn't. Tumbling ball forward. And that'll do well to stay inside the field to play. It won't.
Thank you.
Bradley Hill. Suddenly it feels like the Saints are having a good time of it. Long ball forward. Lukosius's hands to Sharp, who goes off the ground.
Push in the back. Free kick, Gold Coast. Let him grab it. Thank you.
Downfield, it'll come to Ainsworth after it was Sharp who drew the free. So 59 seconds left. That's a dangerous ball. Miller made it work, and then I reckon in the end pretty happy to see it out. 4-3, second term in favour of the Suns. 3-point lead they enjoy as we approach half-time. It's been an entertaining half of footy.
That's for sure, JB. And like you, I feel like the Saints have just turned it back their way in the last 3-4 minutes. Can they get a goal out of that? Though Miller says no. Anderson's quick kick forward. So it's in a good spot for the Suns. Halfway up the ground, maybe just their side with 3/4 of a minute to go. A couple of hard runners, Wilkie and Holman there, both South Australians. Holman and Central Districts, well, played in the SANFL. Just say so. Witts and Ryder. Miller still gets hold of him. Gresham got down low. Sinclair. Good tackle from the back by Lemons. Back to Butler. That one cut off. Powell's hands were good. Ellis. Oh, OK for Miller. So they're going to get the last look at it here, JB. So it's the Suns.
To Weller. Just going to thump a long one. Even numbers forward of the ball. Day almost clawed it. Ellis. Anderson. Squaring ball. Almost Harbrow. Now, are you going to get the siren?
He's got to open the way and really show that hard grunt and drive that the Saints need around the stoppages outside their forward 50.
He needs to have a better output in this second half than Greenwood. Greenwood's probably been the best midfielder in this game, and so that's the challenge for Jack Steele.
A tip in a word?
I'm going for Gold Coast.
I think I'll still go Saints. I think they've got enough to get this done.
All right, a massive second half coming up right now on Fox Footy. Make sure you join us post-game for a full analysis plus the coaches' press conferences.
The two experienced ruckmen. Ryder in his 250th. Terrific bounce. Witts goes early. Ryder wins the tap. Greenwood gets his hands on it. Witts little toe poke, OK. Swallow off the ground. Contest. Gee, Weller read it well. And then that long kick forward right to the goal square. King versus Howard. Jones gets back. Doesn't concede. Gets it to Carlisle. Carlisle gets it to Wilkie. Wilkie to Hill. Arches his back. Back to Wilkie. And then Wilkie caresses it out wide. Gee, that's a good kick coming out of the defence, isn't it? And Membry was up for it, JB.
Found Kent on the wing. They got out of defensive 50 with great poise. King on a searching lead. This is Max, long way from home. Thumps it inside 50. 2v2 and Battle had the better of Ballard.
Walk away.
Josh Battle.
Hey, don't run the risk of giving it away. Go away. Embarrassing.
Great use out of the back line, but it was a fantastic mark by Howard on a one-on-one contest to bring the ball down. He's isolated at the one-on-one with King, which meant that they were able to rebound the ball and now have a shot on goal.
1-3 from set shots. Josh Battle. That's what's ahead of him for the perfect start for the Saints, and it's right through. Good mark and goal for Josh Battle. There's another one of these utility type players who's 193 centimetres, so good size, can mark it overhead, can also swing through the middle of the ground, and he's had so many issues with his body over the journey, but it's great to see him back out there and doing what he does best.
All got back to Howard, didn't it? As Job said, they're priceless, those marks like that.
Try and build a team from the back line forward, Bruce.
Yep. So here's the end of it, Joe, but it started at the other end, didn't it, with the contest?
Just the importance of your back six and having the continuity and the strength of your back six so that you can get those defenders who can halve contests when they're really out of favour.
So the other thing, JB, we came into the match talking about the Saints with their goal kicking, not only 15 metres out, accuracy. Accuracy. And tonight again, 7 goals, 2 tonight. So they've continued that trend, haven't they? Round 1 they were off the target, but since then they've been remarkable. Well done, Wilkie against Weller. So Wilkie to Steele. So that Steele-Greenwood battle that we saw a moment ago will be important in the second half. Hill just held it up, asked a bit of long. Well done, Harbrow.
Gold Coast. Play on.
To Ellis, and then Ellis with that neat-looking kick of his to Rankin, and then Rankin sets it up. High ball. Good mark by Sam Day. His numbers don't suggest it, but you know he's on tonight. Every time he's gone near it, he's either made a good contest or he's done something that's actually resulted in a disposal for him or a teammate.
He has, Bruce, and it started in the first contest. He just laid a tackle and hit some bodies and that physicality, and sometimes that's what you need to get yourself in the game. It's not that first mark, it's just the physical aspect of the game.
He's one of the originals, isn't he? From that first draft, taking it 3, and he's just... Oh, he'd be disappointed. He'd be disappointed. They're the ones you'd really want to nail.
Wilkie bites off. Straight down the ground kick. Got to be really assured from here, Ellis. Bowes, thumping handball. There is Day. Got wrapped up immediately by Carlisle. And we'll have a ball up. Swallow's been good. Got it to Anderson. Off a step. He's just sprayed it to the right. So a couple of behinds in a row for the Gold Coast Suns.
So Howard to bring it back in. They're still doing so well in the clearances, the Suns. And they've had the edge there all night. Gee, a little bit of danger there, but Caulfield. He's emerging, Caulfield, as he was a high draft pick. He sort of snuck up on a few people, though, I think. It's not a high-profile high draft pick, if that makes any sense. High kick down the ground. To a contest, Lukosius. Good tackle, Jones. He's gone.
Disposal. St Kilda.
It's like a battering ram, JB, isn't he, Jones?
Been a great pickup. Short ball for Hind. To Steele. Caulfield again. Long ball. Membry in the air, couldn't hang on. Butterick. Now a locked up situation. Speaking of the stats, Luke Hodge spoke to Brett Ratton about the need to hold on to Gold Coast in a contested ball sense. And Hodgie, they're up by 10 at the moment. The Suns in contested footy. I'll get your thoughts on that in just a second as Hines been legged. And we'll get a 45-metre look.
There you are. Right here.
The tackle slipped down there, and umpire was in good position to call it.
Nick Hine goes at about a goal a game. In the search of distance, or the pursuit anyway, he's dragged it left and an easy kill. Hodgie, talk to us about that differential.
Yeah, that's something that Stewie Jew's brought with him from Sydney. Everyone knew when Sydney were playing their best football that they were such a good contested possession team, and that's what he's worked on, that's what he's improved on, and I think we've seen since he's been in now, I think it's his third season, they've got better and better in that, and their improvement they've made, it's in all facets of their game, but especially contested possession.
Long's high ball, couple of big flyers. Kent, does he keep it in? He does. Battle keeps it in. Well done, Collins. Got it down low to Lukosius. Lukosius with a high, long ball. Day has to make a contest. That he does. Ainsworth first there against Patton. Ainsworth's handball doesn't quite get past Wilkie. Gets a second look from Carlisle. Back to Billings. Back to the left foot of Wilkie. So the right way to go. And Jihar Brow, that is a clever mark. Not a great handball to Ellis, though. Puts him under pressure. Maybe he wanted the one back aim, JB, and he got it back.
Won't be the first one to roll that way, Dave. Number 4 for Essendon used to like a bit of that. Dave,
not quick enough to get it back.
Long ball looking for King, gets good hands to it again. Swallow front and centre, walked into the Jones tackle. Just had a little fumble. It wasn't an easy ball to handle. Look at that for a running barrel. Thumping ball. Collins has got to make it work. Butter at ground level. Controlled it nicely. Down the line. And here's Anderson. Taken in a good tackle. Hunter Clark, Hind. Handball to himself. Did that brilliantly. Has a bounce. Runs into trouble and then just flicks the handball over the top, but it doesn't work.
Lukosius, good kick again. We've talked about that. Ainsworth spreads it long to Ellis. Ellis, neat-looking kick. Gets the Day back to Ellis. Now he's confronted with a bit of a problem. Good tackle. Held him up. Weller got down low. Oh, Weller had to cough it up again. Well played, Weller. Builded it forward. Billings. They're just a little untidy, I reckon, the Suns at the minute. Things not working for them. Phillips. Ballard tried to hold him up. Hill. Normally good in this spot. That's beautiful. To Membry, doesn't quite.
St Kilda.
Joe, they are untidy right now, the Suns.
Yeah, and as you can see on the screen, that when the ball is moving up and back, and it's just turnovers and turnovers, and that's why the ball is free-flowing and it's movement. It's then the decision-making and the really good players are just able to choose the right option and then execute accordingly. Brad Hill then chose the right option, executed it. Tim Emery dropped the mark, but they were able to get a second chance of it. But the ball was just turnover, turnover, turnover. And then the really great players have that calm, methodical thoughts to them, and they're able to execute the right option.
So you saw the set shots. 9 from 12. This is a long one. And it's a very, very good kick for distance, but just couldn't quite get it to bend back. So 3 points to margin. That's what it was at half-time the other way.
Job, you're right there. As Stewie Jew said, as we said, the intercept mark there from Steele. That switched on in your zone, waiting for the kick to come in. It was an excellent turnover. But Stewie Jew, as we saw earlier at half-time, that he was talking to his players about don't over-possess the ball, as we see a replay of the mark here from Steele. That last ball there, they switched it across the centre of the ground. Ellis hit a nice and lead-up kick, but then they tried to overdo it with handball. Once you get that switch, get the ball inside deep to your forward 50 and give your forwards a chance 1v1 before the opposition can come back and help defend.
Jack Steele from directly in front. This had hurt. It's there. First 2 to start this third term. In NFL parlance, it was like the cornerback just eyeing off the eyes of the quarterback, wasn't it? He could tell that he was looking down the middle. It was a good piece of work from that man on screen.
And Miller was just flat-footed. Well, I know the kick was dangerous, but he was flat-footed. He had to go.
As we see this kick in here, Gold Coast have improved so much since Stewie's taken on ball, but one thing that continues to let them down is their kicking efficiency. They're going at 61% compared to St Kilda's 72%. They're 18th in the league for the whole season, so they've been able to get in there, they've been able to get their hands on the ball, keep the ball in the forward line, but it's just that finished little polish, as we've seen consistently tonight. They've had times to go inside forward 50, they've missed kicks, and St Kilda have turned it over and been able to go down and score. Thanks,
Hodgie. So equal career high in terms of goals for Jack Steele. Mentioned earlier, he's got coaches' votes in 8 of the 9 games coming in. He's had a fabulous season. So day in the ruck against Marshall. And ball not coming out.
Holding the ball too long. Must successfully knock the ball clear. On the full now, please.
So danger signs here for the Suns. Saw it in the second term how they responded. High ball from Marshall, Ballard front, Butler front and centre. You could put this down, I reckon. He doesn't miss those, does he? Well, anyone playing the Saints, I reckon the blueprint is okay. How do we stop them scoring these goals in close? I mean, it has just been quite phenomenal what they've been able to achieve, and he's as much a reason as anyone, if not more, I would have thought.
Yeah, spot on. The other blueprint might just be whoever's on him, arm across.
Yeah.
He's so dangerous, isn't he?
Just see here, contest right out in front of goal, and Butler again just in the right spot. Beautiful timing off the pack, and obviously spent a lot of time down at St Kilda because a lot of their small forwards have great timing. They're in the right spot. Butler served it up on a plate.
3 goals, 2 from 6 inside 50s, the Saints this turn. And the last 4 of the match. So, like they did in the second term, the Gold Coast now need to respond. Ryder got through Gresham. Took Miller, stolen by Billings. Good smother then from Swallow. Ground ball. Won by Bowes, but taken in a very good tackle. Billings has it held in.
On the ball, Gold Coast. Drags it in.
Is the modern way. No one has any idea what's going to come of those scenarios from an umpiring point of view. As Lemons. Nicely done. Found Miller. Now Anderson to centre half forward. Sexton couldn't hang on. Sinclair went to Ryder, who was flat-footed, to Hill, who's never flat-footed, but he got wrapped up. Billings gets crunched. Suddenly it's a hot footy. Anderson got it to Sexton. Sexton end on end inside forward 50. What's Rankin got? He's got a couple to beat. Carlisle, one of them. That's a well-measured ball to Caulfield.
Going well, the Saints, aren't they? I mean, they've been pressured a bit, but they're up for it. They're holding firm. Harbrow caught underneath, held his ground well. Lukosius inside, good. Greenwood. Not a bad kick, actually. Holman, poor handball by Swallow. He had a good first half. Stuck underneath Greenwood, well done at the back by Ryder. Hill. Got it back. And that kick down the line, and Collins happy to see it over.
And just as this momentum has gone St Kilda's way, it's important for the Gold Coast team to go back to what works for them and what they're able to do in that first half, and that's the contested ball, the physicality and pressure around. They can pressure St Kilda to get the ball back. Not get caught trying to chase kicks and chase the ball, but work on the defensive actions, because that will get them back into the game.
Jack Billings, normally a dangerous left foot user. Long ball, Membry, that double step jump, almost steal. He gets boot to ball somehow. Ellis to Sharp. Sharp wide. It's got a bit too much carry for Sexton. Does he keep it in? No. And the ball's out of play.
He's got a good leg on him, Sharp. We haven't seen him kick the ball that on. That had some penetration. Sexton just can't get off the leash, can he? I mean, I think JB mentioned earlier, he just can't get off the leash. He can't get into dangerous spots. They need him to hit the board. Lemons had a fumble. Greenwood's handball was untidy. It's the way of the Suns just for the minute. And there is Lemons. So Lemons and his partner Shady, his wife, had a little darling daughter, Rael, on Friday. So the boy from Salisbury in South Australia, it's been a wonderful time for him and his family. So Witts and Ryder. Paddy did well, but that was so well sharp by the man in question. Kicked a beautiful goal earlier tonight. Howard just got rid of Day. Day may get a second crack.
Hi, St Kilda, head over the ball. Be careful coming in.
Just a bit rushed and untidy, wasn't it? So Howard's won a free kick.
One of those rare stories, Dougal Howard, of a player who's left a team that's flying and gone to a team that's flying. Good for him. All the way back to Pat. Caulfield found a nice spot across half back. Battle. Punches it down the line. Powell had his legs taken out from underneath him. Jones, clever in tight. Did well. Got the arms clear. Well done, Sharp, to break it up. Holman. Weller. Nice moves. But Wilkie, too good in the air.
It's a good mark, wasn't it? It's a long to Clark. Going across to Phillips. He's the late in for Geary tonight. Geary managed probably. He had a bit of a fitness test. They decided to hold him back because of the proximity of the match, as we know, in this festival of footy. Phillips with some courage there, and then wants to go on with it. Butler just spilled out. Greenwood got to make a stand here, the Suns, and they're not out of this match. It's 2.5 goals. Badra Rankin! Oh, we've been waiting for it all night.
How good is this young man? He doesn't do much, but what he does is unbelievably good.
Thank God he doesn't do much. Thank God he doesn't do much, JB. He wouldn't be able to put up with it. Ainsworth's kicking to the forward 50 almost.
And Hunter Clark able to swoop on it. To Billings. Collins. That's a good mark. I thought it was a mark. He thought it was a mark.
Touch him,
Yeah, guys, St Kilda have definitely, as you say, this massive mark from Ranky. Geez, you can do some exciting things, but St Kilda have definitely picked up their intensity this quarter, but it's more so how efficient they've been going inside forward 50. They've had 7 inside 50s to Gold Coast 6, but they've kicked 3 goals, 2 to 2 points, so really hitting them on the scoreboard.
Here goes Rankin, and he's off to the races. Take all the ground, young man. Steady and thread it. What a talent Isaac Rankin is.
JB, we can go home now. We're happy.
Yep. We'll just leave it up to Job to look after the rest of this one. He's a special talent. He's going to tick the turnstiles over in the next 10 years.
And he's got poise too, JB. I mean, that was poise at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
An explosive 2 or 3 minutes from Rankin here. We just look at that wonderful mark, and then defensively first, intercept, and then the reward at the end. He balanced himself up, finished the kick. We all know how excited he is, but the thing that I've also been really impressed about is his defensive actions. He's actually created a couple of goals, and he got the reward there by being switched on defensively, intercept the ball, and then balanced up and finished. It's a sign of a really good player who can do it on both sides of the game. He's only going to get better.
Sensational 2 or 3 minutes, isn't it? So really back in the match now, the Suns. Jones had it a long time.
The ball, not a genuine attempt. Goal post.
That Rankin genius has sort of turned it, hasn't it? So suddenly the Suns get some momentum. High ball forward, flyers everywhere. But Marshall doing the roving, belting the ball out. Ballard chasing, and a boundary throw-in. Good kick in the end. Been a good contest. Really enjoyed it, JB, haven't you?
Loved it. And Hodgie, you're up
Meter!
amongst this crowd. It's not a massive crowd for obvious reasons, but when Rankin gets anywhere near it, the noise is there.
Yeah, they've actually got a few supporters in here tonight, Gold Coast, but so does St Kilda. They've put a couple behind the contest just to shut it out. But as you said, as soon as Rankin gets anywhere near it, the excitement that he has, you can hear everyone here just lift.
Well up, little handball through. Gets to Anderson, and Anderson slots another one. This is a good patch. Speaking of good young Colts, Noah Anderson, second in the draft. A lot to like about that man on screen too. So this is exactly what Stuart Dew talked about during the week to us. Arresting momentum within quarters, and they've done it twice in this game.
And I keep thinking back to Rankin, and I reckon we're overplaying it.
Just see here the fight from just to get the ball, keep it moving forward, and when the ball's bubbling around and in your forward 50, things can happen. A fantastic finish by Anderson, and as Bruce and JB have touched on, they've been good around the clearances all day, but they're the second time in this game when they've actually turned momentum, and this time around, I think defensively, they really tightened things up around the ball, and also they just kept fighting, and now they've got the reward for effort, and they'll be really pleased with it going into this last quarter.
So a big little 3/4 of a minute coming up, eh? Gresham going backwards, Sexton got enough on it, but good spot for Battle. Lovely kick to Hill. He's run those wings hard, hasn't he, tonight? Of course, Hodgie Hodgie front and centre in the 3 premierships that Brad played in at Hawthorn. What a time it was. High ball down the ground. Marshall had a bit of it. Butler's been so good, hasn't he, and so dangerous. The Saints with a little look here. Ballard bounced off him. Kicked by Kent forward. And Ellis, nice hands. And that should just about do it to 3/4 time. So, perfectly poised. Terrific first 3 quarters, ebbs and flows, and Isaac Rankin lit up the sky in the 3rd term. At 3/4 time here, it's the Saints by 3 points over the Suns.
Hello. So you're going to Ainsworth? Yep. Ainsworth, and that means Longie's with Rankin. So Fato's going to Ainsworth, you're with Rankin, and you said you'll beat him, okay? You'll get it done. Boy. Row, fantastic. All he wants to do is the basics well. The basic well, get it forward. Come on, Steele, kick a goal.
Hodgie, right now, I wish it wasn't me that he said you're going to Rankin.
No, I wouldn't want to put my hand up for that role. But I thought St Kilda were good in parts of that 3rd quarter. They won a little bit more of the contested footy. Gold Coast still on top in their clearances, still on top of the inside 50s. And just as I said, they weren't that effective going inside forward 50. They kicked 2 late goals to get them back into the game. So, look, they're both having a real crackdown here, and look, it's going to be an interesting last quarter.
Been a great game, AJB. How big's this with Queensland footy? I mean, this is the epicentre of the AFL right now, Metricon and the Gabba, and these Suns have been fantastic. The Saints, 3 points in front, so much to play for. It's been a great game.
It's a legitimate home game too. So many we've seen here. You've got 2 Victorian clubs, and the ground doesn't matter, but this is a home game for the Suns and a big challenge for the Saints. If they're up to it, if they're top 4, they grind this win out. We're not 100% sure yet. We're excited by the Saints, but we're not 100% sure. And this is a young emerging list at the Gold Coast Suns. Fascinating 25 minutes ahead. Ratton doing a great job. And so Stewie Dew. We've been on King watch all night. Max has kicked a goal and Benny's kicked a couple.
If BT was here, JB, he'd be saying to me right now, gee, they've been out there a long time, Macca, waiting for that ball to be bounced. But thank God Bristol's not with us.
Razor's ready to get us started. Huge run home. Whitson Ryder, as it was right at the start. Who blinks first? Ryder down, Took Miller, and also David Swallow. Off the line came Harbrow, but just couldn't connect. Sinclair. High inside 50, ball to a dangerous spot. Ballard thought he'd taken the mark. Took Miller gets back to support his defence. Goes wide, looking for Powell. Jones is there as well. Steele back to Jones. Jones taken in a tackle. Sinclair tucked against the line, coughed it up by hand. Powell did pretty well to get it to Harbrow. Harbrow to a 1v2 and Carlisle almost. Day did well to break that up in the air and then Rankin sees it out. That might be deliberate. It is.
Mark's you, Isaac. Thank you, mate.
It's the right call. It's just didn't disguise it well enough, eh?
Move it on, please. Play on your end.
Not going to make us forget that mark or goal, though, is it? Here's Wilkie's kick. Big fly from Greenwood. Bowes kept his call. Not a good kick, though. Rankin was off to the races, and Wilkie read it better. So Wilkie's thundering kick back to centre half forward. Stood his ground there, did Budrick. Ellis had to backtrack. Backtrack he did. Oh, Witz's handball. Great pressure. Ryder gets down. Collins. Ball squeezed out. And we'll have a stoppage. So, oh, a little bit nervy right there, the Suns.
Dangerous for a midfielder to handball backwards to a stationary ruckman.
Kent got a handball out to Billings. Had it held in. Somehow released the footy. Kicked it straight up the chimney. Lemons, a hot footy to handle. Greenwood went to ground. Billings was clean. Stripped of it was King. Willing. Patton straightens up and has not got the trip. Harbrow, last line of defence, and he got it to Powell.
Kicked the first goal of the game, Powell. Neat little kick. Finds Swallow.
Another good sign of maturity, Bruce, is when you're defending for a long period of time but not conceding goals, and that's what Gold Coast have done at the start of this last quarter.
Could be telling, couldn't it, Joe? Kick down that line. Howard's been strong. Steele, a couple of goals tonight. Another fine game. Ballard he couldn't go to ground. That was the important thing there. Kent a one-on-one. Gresham.
It's in the back. Gold Coast. Thank you. Just see.
Well done, Harbrow. Geez, defended well, Harbrow, in this quarter. The veteran, Lukosius. So he's got that good leg, Lukosius. That one's spending a lot of time in the air. Budrick had to hold his ground against Butler and a running ball. So let's have a look at the ladder right now as it sits. So the Saints, if they can get home tonight and maintain this lead, that's where they finish the night, right on the heels of Port Adelaide.
There'll be some excited people Bayside if that ends up being a reality, as Witts down to Lemons, just couldn't extricate the footy. Swallow to Weller. Tumbling ball forward. Rankin's got a couple to beat. That's well done. That's the pressure Jobe Watson was talking about. Forced the out-of-bounds ball from Wilkie.
Also the way in which the Suns can clear out of their stoppages. They're just getting, time and time again, they're able to generate out of these stoppages.
Long ball from Lemons. Here's King in the pocket. Ainsworth sets it up to Powell, who did brilliantly well. Wonderful contested mark. First goal of the match.
Fantastic smother from Ainsworth, and King's heard Hodgie all night. He's given the handball straight away, and he's been able to square it up. Ainsworth, a fantastic mark. You talk to them during the huddle at some point, did you, Hodgie?
Has El Hodge.
Mate, that's the only rule. If your back's to goal, give the handball, or if you're picking up off the ground, give the handball. Perfect setup there from shot on goal.
Taking full ownership of the state of Queensland. He has. All right, Powell for his second. Well done, young man. We got a game of footy, that's for sure.
Joe made the point that they withstood that early challenge with that poise, and you get down the other end, you kick a goal. Now there's a lot to play out, but it was pivotal, wasn't it? He's been good, pal. I mean, that was a great mark. Terrific snapshot to start the night, wasn't it?
And Hodgie, we just see the setup of the goal here, and Powell, he's kicked his second tonight. What have you seen from him, and what have you liked?
Well, he started on the wing with Bradley Hill, and he's got the running capacity to go up and down the wing with Hill. Hill swapped wings a couple of times and found a little bit of the ball, but what I've liked is his composure when he gets the ball. He knows where to hit a kick, he knows when to actually pull the trigger, or knows when to hold her up and go long down the line, but also just his composure in front of goal. He's had 2 opportunities to go back and hit the scoreboard, and he's done it well. So sitting back here, I think Gold Coast got a really good play for the future there.
Saw the ladder there, saw the Saints back to 4th, Gold Coast up to 9th, so huge change one way or the other as to who can win this match. And if the Suns can prevail tonight, they're a realistic chance of playing finals for the first time. They're in the mix. And for the Saints, well, they've got to go back a decade since they've been this high on a ladder, back to 2011 type stuff. So it's been terrific, the resurgence under Rats. I look back at his career at Carlton today as a coach, and he deserves another chance like nobody else. His 3 finals defeats were away from home by less than a goal against big opposition. And here we go. Anderson inside, gets it to Holman, high ball, 1-on-1. Well done, Howard. He just got rid of King. He engaged early.
Gold Coast.
Too early engaged.
That's a big call, because we're the umpire who's sitting about 30 metres away, parallel to the contest, and the umpire in the middle of the ground about 60 metres away has overruled him. So it did look like a free kick from where I was sitting as well. As you say, if you're going to put body contact on someone, you've got to go back and have a crack at the ball. If there was someone there to take the mark, they would have paid it any day of the week. I don't mind that decision.
What a massive kick. He's kicked a couple. He's kicked 3, and the Suns are a kick and a half in front.
It might be the correct call, but it's a big call. Yeah. From an umpire 80 metres away. Shot on goal, the result. And now it's a 9-point lead.
They're going to be hard to catch, JB. Centre clearances are going to be so vital from this point on.
As you'll see here, another clearance from Greenwood, gets it forward, a kick up. I personally thought it was a free kick, considering he's taken a body out, hasn't gone back for it. JB, you weren't a massive fan. Joe, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was maybe there, Hodgie, but I don't think I would have paid it if I was the umpire. I think I don't think there was enough contact. Yeah.
That is pathetic, Joe. That is a pathetic answer.
Just because JB's sitting beside you can have your own thoughts. But the only thing is with that, what the players want, what the umpires, what the AFL want is the bloke to use his body but then come back. He had no intentions to come back and mark the ball. That's the only reason why I'm sitting here thinking that was a free kick.
That's a call from a man who's won a Brownlow, Mac. That's what it is.
Sorry, JB. I couldn't help you there.
It's long and high. They're starting to roll here. Touk Miller's taking a mark. This has been impressive. 4 unanswered goals for the Gold Coast Suns, and if he can slot this will make it 5.
Again, the centre clearance that Bruce talked about, how important it was. 31-16 so far. Inside 50s there on top again. They kicked this and really hurt St Kilda on the scoreboard. It's been around the ball where they've really gained the ascendancy.
Got a career high 2 already. This for 3, and to make it tough for the Saints, he may have just dragged that to the left. He has it behind. So it's the Gold Coast by 10 points.
And a couple of marks inside 50, Joe, but been telling, I mean, Powell and now Miller. I know he's missed that one, but a couple of the smaller players able to take contested marks inside 50. Good signs. Here's Phillips. Saints need the next one. It's not going to be a high-scoring last quarter. We just don't have them, do we, these days? It'll be another 3 or 4 goals maybe in this match. And that team needs to get almost all of them from this point on.
And they've got to get it around the ball, Bruce. They're going to have to get more physical and find a way to get back on these clearances.
So Witts laid it down. Sinclair, good by Miller. But they squeezed it out, the Saints. It was a good squeeze too. Here's King. They've been good, the Twins. Wide ball, so the race is on. Battle bringing up the rear. Bowes plays it in front. Probably wants the boundary line. Battle worked him well. Got the ball forward. Butler's going to be dangerous if this ball stays in. Lukosius did well. Bowes back to Hill. And the Suns take a big deep breath, don't they, as the Saints get a stoppage forward 50.
Isn't that a great example of the deliberate out-of-bounds rule having a great impact on the game?
Yeah.
Years gone by, that's just taken out and a throw in, but players had to keep the footy in. It's terrific. Work to the front. Swallow. Sharp. Powell with a touch ball.
Incorrect disposal. Just threw it out.
Holman's going to end up with a free kick. Not 100% sure he was actually even being tackled there long, but Holman's got it.
No, JB, it was incorrect disposal. Razor said he just threw it down.
So the ball thumped over and we'll have a boundary throw in on the wing. Amazing people watching everywhere, Macca. They always do on Thursday night. But the great SK Warnes in Manchester watching Test cricket. He's got his phone on and he's not happy. Just at the moment, his beloved Saints.
He would have hated that free kick cut the other end there.
He was not happy at all.
Umpiring from London, eh? Not the first player that's done that.
He has controlled things always as through comes Hind. Handballed along, Hind gets it back. This is important. The snap from Hind is just offline.
Ooh. He can break a line, can't he? He did that against the Swans. He kicked 3 last week. He kicked, as I said, a very important goal late in the third quarter when Sydney was surging. So here's Collins. How do the Suns play this out? It's going to be revealing, isn't it? The next 10 minutes, 8, 9 minutes. Marshall, high ball back in, and how do the Saints respond? Memory had a good look at it. In fact, it was Kent in the front spot there. Well done by Hind. Butler, oh, you beauty! That's the best service any Butler could ever give. What a little cameo he's playing tonight. Going from cameo to leading man, I think, don't you?
Unbelievable. Anywhere within 30, yeah, he is just deadly. That's a terrific finish.
And they've all been different guys, haven't they? The 3 finishes have all been different, but the same in the end.
We talked about it all night, but he's just been able to find himself in the right spot, and he's so deadly around goal, but his timing, whether it's off the pack or the ball's on the ground, and he's just been able to get to the right spot really quickly, use his finishing skills. It's been such a valuable acquisition, and the Saints fans getting tight, they're still cheering on.
Stevie Milne in the middle there. That's the sort of goal that he used to absolutely lap up in his playing time. So back to 3 points. Greenwood just couldn't get a handle. Eventually he does. Kicks a floater to Sexton. The bounce didn't work for him. Caulfield steps through nicely. Good composure to Jones.
Hold out!
Bites off the short one for Hill. Hasn't gone far enough. Got to go and get it again. Down the line ball. Knocked out of King's hands by Collins. Ryder. Billings a left footer. Dangerous here. Goes to the top of the square. And Butterick's able to go back and intercept.
She kept his cool, Butterick. That ball got to ground. We know what was going to happen. So Powell, a couple of goals for him tonight. High ball. Only the one flyer. Caulfield read it well. So the Saints turn to get the best of it. Behind on the scoreboard. Setting up. High fly battle. Good, strong mark. Ballard just couldn't quite get that fist to it.
got a great run up at the ball and then was able to jump and elevate and stretch right out and hold the mark. Fantastic contested mark. And each shot on goal now has extra emphasis on it being the fourth quarter and such a tight game.
Kicked a goal in the third. See the focus, can't we? Good kick. Really good kick. Saints back in front.
Fifth lead change in the game. It's been a cracker. Momentum going each way. Battle with two good marking goals. Wonderful game of footy.
We just see here, Battle's able to get the run and jump and take the contested mark and then finish. And now Bruce brings it back to the importance of centre clearances. Which side can get the ball going forward and put the defensive 50 under pressure.
It's just goals in spurts, isn't it? We have the Saints kicked 3 in a row just on quarter time and after. Then the Suns kicked 4 and then it was 4 for the Saints and then 4 for the Suns. Now a couple for St Kilda. It's been that sort of game. Momentum has swung. Where's it going to finish? Ryder, emphatic. Steele off the ground. Billings and Powell, a foot race. Billings just got rid of him, did that brilliantly. High ball forward. Hine with a good mark.
Leave it. Leave it.
As this night's gone on and the conditions have got heavier, kicks from outside 50 have struggled to get there. He'll be kicking from about 52. That's his night, Nick Hind. For the Saints, third in a row, and to make it a 9-point spread. Good strike. Has he got it? There, not quite. Touched on the line by Witts.
He's equalled his career high tonight, Hind. He's emerging, isn't he? He's a handy player. Breaks the line. Now for the Suns to work their way through this. Lukosius was undecided. In the end, the safety first kick. King a target. Day, well done. Holman to Greenwood. Been such a wonderful player to Ainsworth. Getting some troops back. He's just going to make sure they can get some numbers back. Now, Sexton's just come off the line, so short, he'll get to him. So where does he go here? Can he find a target or does he just bomb it? He does the second thing. High ball inside forward 50. Carlisle did well. Wilkie a little slow to get back and didn't mind it coming out. So you find out a lot about teams in this situation. How real deal are the Saints and have the Suns got another gear here?
Good sides just find a way to win tight games. We know that. Witts and Ryder. Jones had his jumper held and was smashed into the ground. Ryder end on end, broken up in the air. Marshall did brilliantly well, gave it to Billings, but it's broken up by Lukosius and his dangerous ball in hand. It gets through everyone's hands except Lemons. Just pushed as he kicked. Now Rankin, the little one through the traffic. Hunter Clark with great composure. Look at that. Stepped through about 4 and then dumped a long one for King. Just couldn't hang on. Marshall. Billings. They've worked this out okay, although crunched is Jones. Took Miller, breaks it up. Pumps it back to half forward. Sexton in front. King in defence. Steele, Hunter Clark. High again down the line to about a 1v4. It might be a push. And a free kick
St Kilda
for Butler.
Butler, straight to him.
Gee, that's a big blue because they had the numbers, the Suns. You were so right, JB. Clark was superb a moment ago, where he just was able to avoid the tackle. Heavy, heavy traffic, wasn't it? And released the pressure for a moment. So here's Carlisle. Back he goes. They haven't had a lot of territory in this quarter, the Suns. And look at those inside 50s. Back to Carlisle. But this won't worry the Suns because the Saints are not getting the ball far from goal. And a little nervy here. That was a poor choice, I would have thought. Sexton, but Carlisle makes up for it. Gee, Sexton had to get that ball forward a little quicker than that. Good tackle coming from Lemons at the back. Ball still in dispute. Oh, well done again by Clark. Two big bits of footy.
Wonderful it was. Ryder at the back. Can he wind back the clock? He gives it to Butler. He's streaming forward for goal number 4. Magnificent. He might not have ever played a better individual game than this one, Dan Butler. Just superb. I know he's played in bigger games because he's played in the Premiership, Macca, but that's his career high, and all the finishes have been sublime.
You've summed it up perfectly, JB. I reckon you've nailed it.
Just see here, Paddy Ryder does the crumbing, and then Butler just puts the afterburners on. One bounce, looks behind him, and finishes and kicks his 4th, but just streaming into goal. He's been wonderful tonight, and Bruce and JB called it earlier about Clark's poise under real pressure in some big moments, especially deep in his defensive 50, just able to evade would-be Suns tacklers and take the right opportunity, and this Saints have come storming home, kicking the last 3.
He's a match winner, Butler. That's what it seems right now. Yeah. And full credit to Lockie Weller. He did not give up chasing for a moment, did he? But Butler was too quick, and in the end had too much poise. He has played a game and a half, and I reckon JB's right. I don't think he's played a better individual game than this. He's a Premiership player, we know, but he's been magnificent tonight. Miller to Bowes. They've still got time. We know they can kick goals in a hurry. We know it's been a match of momentum. Oh, that is a good mark by Block that we've talked a lot about tonight as having to maybe step up tonight, Sexton. We know he's had a couple of terrific years coming into this year. Not so good this season so far. Sets it up. Day's in a good spot. Rakin.
No way.
Oh, yes. Yes. No.
Seriously, stop it. Never going to miss. Stop it. That's nuts.
Oh, hey, JB, this is getting better.
It is. It's just superb.
Plenty of time to go as well, Bruce. Have a look at this entry. Deep in the pocket, 2 minutes to go. Snaps it on your left foot. 4 points down. The Gold Coast are right in this. And Isaac Rankin just went bang.
We'd all been told how good this kid was before he started playing, and I think we all had the same view, and that is let's wait until he gets into the big time and see if he can deliver. I reckon he is. Whose jumper would you rather have on, Hodgie?
Oh, with the scoreboard, you'd probably go St Kilda, mate, but tell you what, it's been a ripping match. Gold Coast aren't giving up. They've been dominating around the stoppages as this one gets recalled. But they just need to keep fighting like that. They've just got to make sure that they take the game on, open the game up, get it in there and just try and get another score.
4-point margin. Down to Anderson, broken up. Lukosius came off the line. Greenwood been superb. Tuke Miller got it to Witts. Inside 50 they go. It gets all the way back. No, well done. Wilkie. Brilliant composure in the air. Now Harbrow can break this up. Again, Billings really strong. Minute 42 left. Cannot afford a mistake.
Sexton just needs to bring that to ground. They've been excellent getting it in there. They just need a contest to bring it to ground, let their crummers go to work.
High and long. We'll get a stoppage on the wing. So a minute and 28 left, Macca, and it's a 4-point lead for St Kilda.
On the knife edge, aren't we? Which way does it go? You do feel like there's another goal somewhere in this match. So the clearance, vital. Oh, right, that's interesting. Witts, Holman, Ellis. High ball, centre half forward. Well done, Howard. Got it away from King. Clark brought down, but he has been so good. Howard got it from Hill. That is such a good kick from Howard. He came again after he made the initial spoil. Marshall, do they milk it now? I mean, there's a minute to go. High ball. Gets a bit of air, gets a bit of time, and oh, King's taken a beauty.
St Kilda. Time back on.
This makes it tough now, Bruce. It's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He can wind off the clock.
They've been good, the Kings. Talked about the hype on Rankin, JB. A lot of hype on these two.
Yep.
The twins. And the brothers have done really well, haven't they? And this one might have the final say in the match. So Max from 50, nut now. There is time, that'll be out in the full. OJB, let's see if we can get it from one end to the other, young fella. Off you go.
They can't afford to make a mistake. Lukosius goes with a barrel. Carlisle's parked there. Ball on the ground. They've just got to find a way to release it. Got 11 seconds left. Make that 9. Clock stopped. Everything's got to be perfect from here for the Gold Coast Suns. Cracking game on a Thursday night. Thumped forward by Witts. Got to be clean. Holman slapped it to Ellis. Going the wrong way. That'll do it. The Saints hang on in a Thursday night classic. What a magnificent game. Congratulations to the St Kilda Footy Club, who are now on second place in the ladder. How good. And the Suns lost no friends, Joe. They were wonderful.
No, they didn't. It was just a great contest by two teams. Both fighting, aggressive, contested ball, scoring with talent all over the field. It was a really great game to watch, wasn't it? But in the end, the St Kilda team were just able to withstand it for longer and convert at the right time.
Fourth game in a row, Bruce, that's been decided by 4 points or less between these two clubs.
Yeah, they're building up a great rivalry, aren't they, JB? A real classic, as you say, and Hodgie's making his way out there and setting it all up for us as he did so much on the field himself. Down to you, Luke. What was a great night?
Yeah, he's had another fantastic game. Jack, right on, mate. 2 goals, 21 touches, fantastic win.
Yeah, we're pretty pleased to get the win, obviously. Things didn't look good for a little while, but you know, we stuck fat and did a good job.
What was the message? 3/4 time, Gold Coast hit them hard, like just before it kicked a couple of goals. What was the message from the coach?
It was just to get back to clearance and contest the ball. That's where the game was going to be won a lot. So I thought we did that in the last quarter, and yeah, got away with the win, so it's good.
Dan Butler, been pretty impressive since he's come across. Another great game for him.
It was an awesome game. I don't know how many goals he kicked, but even just his forward pressure and stuff like that, all the things he does so well, helps our forward line so much. And one of the big reasons why we're kicking so straight and kicking big scores.
Perfect, mate. Well played. Congratulations.
Thanks, Hodgie. Appreciate it.
Yes, Jack Steele, a big reason why the Saints are doing so well in season 2020. They are now second on the ladder. That was their 4th win in a row. And what about the rivalry they're building with the Gold Coast Suns? Their past 4 games margins of 4 points, 1, 2 and 4, and the Saints have won all 4 of those. That was a really entertaining game of football, and the Saints are the real deal for finals.
Well, they are, yeah. They're cementing themselves inside that top 4, but it's the close ones that get you into that position when you are coming from the position the Saints have over the last couple of years. So they've been able to turn that around, and they were challenged. They looked gone halfway through that last quarter. To bounce back, Brett Ratton will be very, very happy with that.
What a great game of football. Yep. Well done to both the coaches, well done to both sides. 74 points is what the Gold Coast posted. and they still lost. It's the third highest score that has lost this season. So it just shows you that this game is evolving again. The fact that we've got to knock the ball out. Let's not lie on the ball anymore. You have to keep a structure ahead of the footy because it's getting knocked onto the free space, and then it's the ball is just pinging forward or reverse, whichever way you're going.
That's right.
So you have to have equal representation in either direction. So it's making us keep a shape of football and not stacking our backline. These boys will be disappointed, the Suns, but they did so well. And Sarah, it is the #1 game this season for when players take a mark and roll on and play on, which means the ball is in motion.
Yep.
And made it a fantastic game of footy.
Certainly did. Paddy Ryder in his 250th game enjoying the win for the Saints, and they really are building. And if they can bank some more wins during this frantic footy frenzy, Jono, it is the momentum that's going to catapult them into not just the top 8, but perhaps a top 4 spot.
Yeah, and it's the collective too that are getting the job done. You've got Jack Billings tonight, who dominated the possessions for the Saints, and when he does, it's usually a positive outcome for St Kilda anyway. But then the rest, from Jack Steele probably right down to Zach Jones, who only had 13 tonight, but that group of players there in terms of the amount of even ball they got, that even spread across the group now. It's not relying on 2 or 3 players to get them across the line. They've got a really good spread through the midfield, and guys that can lift them, because through the midfield they were getting beaten. They were getting beaten around the ball. They were able to even it up and change the way that they committed to the contest throughout to get the result.
What about the Saints supporters? They've been starved and deprived of success for so long. They're sitting on 28 points. It's 7 wins. So mathematically, 17-game season. You get 9+, you're playing finals. They're at 7. These Saints supporters are just punching the air tonight, thinking 2 out of the last 8. How are we going to... We're going to play finals.
Well,
it must be really exciting for them.
Well, I was still playing when the Saints were on fire through 08, 9 and 10, and they got us a couple of times in some prelims, so I'm sure the fans will be hoping that they can get back to that sort of level this year.
So they play on Monday against Geelong at the Gabba, and that'll be a really good test. Given,
quick turnaround.
Yeah, very quick turnaround. A good test of their list, but also a good test of their football and their game style.
Well, Geelong, as we've seen, can defend really, really well. When they really knuckle down, switch down and lock on, it's going to be tough for the Saints forwards to come up in that game. But we'll allow them to celebrate tonight in what was a fantastic game before.
You don't get long to celebrate anymore.
Well,
not like in your day.
Celebrate until the next Thursday night. Yes. But Rats will take them in now. He'll say, well done. They'll sing the song. They'll have fun. They'll go home feeling good about themselves. And he'll just give them a little bit of a mental pep up of, hey, we've got to switch on fairly quickly. When you get in your room tonight, it's all systems go for the Monday game. And we're waiting on the milestone players to come in now. What a great career Paddy Ryder's had. Started at the Bombers and Port Adelaide, and now at the Saints. There was a time, John, I was on the board at Hawthorn when we flirted with him or Franklin. He's been an amazing player. But no, what we would have loved was to get them both. We thought they were going to be, and they would have been great mates too. But he has been an absolute star of this code. And that, I can still go back to that game of the Anzac Day where he dominated. Literally the first time he ever played in the middle, Sarah, he would have been yelling and hooting and hollering for that one. That was the game of his life back then. But he's been wonderful, wonderful.
Beautiful
value.
shot for goal as well.
Yeah, and support value for young Marshall as he comes on.
All right, just getting all the team in and assembled. What a story Brett Ratton is as well, Brad Johnson. I think his enthusiasm for the group is obviously really showing through this year.
Yeah, I've loved it. I love the way that he coaches this group, because you know why? He coaches the players in their best positions to thrive. And we see that with Butler and where he positioned himself, and King as the forward, and how good's this now? Paddy Ryder thrown into the middle.
We think I'll pass this, aren't I?
good stuff for Paddy Ryder in game number 250, and excellent by the St Kilda Footy Club. He's just one of the recruits that is starring this year, Dermot Brereton, and Dan Butler, another brilliant game from him.